We have here the ArrayBased list that I want to explain again to you all, because this morning you said that you didn't really understand it. So here, an ArrayBased list is basically a list. A list is a collection of elements of the same type. So same type, can you give me an example of a list? A list of numbers, a list of items that you buy in the grocery store, right? So all of these items should be the same type. We can say integers, we can say strings, and the list has a length. The length basically is defined as the number of elements in the list. And a list, when you create it, especially for the array-based list, you have to have what we call a maximum size of your list and your actual size of a list, which is represented by the number of elements in the list. We can have many operations on these lists. For example, like we did this morning, creation of the list itself, the insertion of an element, the deletion or removing an element from the list, checking if the list is full, checking if the list is empty, right? So these are examples of operations that we can do in the list. We have three variables that are needed for the list. We have the array that will hold the elements that we need in the list, and a variable to store the length of the list, and a variable to store the array size, the maximum number of elements that we can have in the list. Always we have length less or equal to the maximum size. Okay, and of course you will have to implement any type of list in your program and make use of templates. Templates, you don't have to use them, but in this exercise that we will do about array-based list, we'll use templates because we want to have a generic type. Every time we want to change it, we can change it. Like I said this morning, we can change it from integers to double to any other types. This is like the UML diagram for the list. So you have the name of the list, you have the private member, and here they are protected, they are not private. And here you have a list of functions or function methods in the array list type. And you see that we have the constructor here, the default constructor, the copy constructor, and the destructor here, and operator overloading of equal. Let's go back to now to the code, okay? In the code, we said that we will want to create the array list as a template, okay? So we have it as a template, and class element type, like I told you when we created it, when we define the array list type in the main, we need just to redefine the element type. We can say it's like any type that we want to use, like integer, like I said this morning, okay? So here we have the function operator equal, which is the overloading the operator assignment. We have the empty is empty function, is full function, list size, max list size, print, is item at equal, is insert at the end, remove at, retrieve at, replace at, clear list, so if you want to clear it, and search, if you want to search an element in the list, you want to insert an element in the list, you want to remove an element from the list, and these are the constructors, and this is the destructor, okay? So this is basically the declaration of the class. So these are all the functions that you have in the class, and here we have the protected three attributes. Now, in the same file, in the ArrayList type.h, we need to define our details about all the functions that we are using. For example, the isEmpty function. This is a method. What does it return? It returns a Boolean, right? What does it do? It basically just checks if the length is equal to 0. So this is a comparison statement. So length is equal to 0 means that the list is empty. So I would return true. If it is full or it has some element, I will return false. Same for full. In full, like I said, I have to check the maximum size. Is it equal to length? If they are equal, it means that I cannot add any element and my list is full. What I can do, I can delete an element, I can replace an element, and I can search for an element, but I cannot add because the list is already full. Here I have the list size function will return the length of the list, right? And basically it will give me the size of the list of the actual elements. Max list size will give me the maximum size. Print, we just print, so it's a loop from 0 to the length. I cannot go beyond length. I cannot go to maximum size because the list, I don't know if it's full or not. So here I will just output the element one by one. So this for loop, if you see the complexity of this loop, so I have to loop n times, like the number of times that I will loop is length. The size of it is length. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until length. Okay, this is why we call it order of length or order of n. Is item equal equal? So basically we have a certain location that is given to us as parameter, and we will have the item that is given also as parameter, and we want to test if they are equal or not. So these are some examples of functions. Now let's see how we use them in the like how do we test them. Okay, so let's go back to the maybe I just check this implementation. Let's see what is there in there. Let's see if I have main function. No, I don't have a main function here. Okay, so this is the array list. So let me stop it. So I hope you understood the array list and how you write the array list type.h. Now we need to do the use of this array list type, right? So this is what I think is an issue for you guys.